The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Aho, my brothers and sisters, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Welcome to my show. Beside me is my co-host, Terry Doran.
Hello, Patty.
And beside him is Kenny Noland.
Hello, Patty.
Hello. And on the phone is our good friend, Jimmy Lee Young.
Aho, my brothers and sisters, and all my cola.
And thank you for phoning in, and the rest for coming over to our studio here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So, well, we are together again. The last time we did a show together was last year, October 2017. And I'm sure many things have happened since then. Right? You guys?
Yeah, with
Oh
Jimmy.
yeah, we've been busy on this, and how about you guys?
No,
Yeah,
we've been busy on this end.
I've definitely been busy.
So, Kenny, we'll start with you. So, so what are you doing right now?
Right now, I am in thinking through of starting another album project, and why I don't know, but at my age, but everybody says I need to do one. So even my wife, so if she says need to do it, I guess I need to do it. So
if Sandy said you need to do it, Ken.
Exactly.
You better do it, right?
You had a CD released when?
April the 6th, I released my CD, Searching.
Searching.
Mm-hmm.
How many songs on there?
I have 13 tracks.
13 tracks.
And I was very fortunate. I'm stingy, and I went into the studio prepared and laid down the 13 tracks in 76 minutes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Just 76 minutes?
76 minutes.
Wow.
You got to be very prepared to
Yeah,
do
I don't like to spend money. You know, studio time is a little expensive, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's kind of a business expense nobody likes. It can be pretty, pricey. But if you want my opinion, I always say, I do the demos, I find a little closet studio, which you can find about anywhere, and then when you're doing your demos, kind of keep the price down, because when you go into the studio, that's where the big money's going to start getting spent.
Yeah.
And, you can start off upwards from $50 an hour, which, when it gets to $50 an hour plus the musicians and the producers, and it gets pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, I have a question. You and I just partly finished,
Right.
EP we're working on with poems of wolves and owls and cats and standing up at Standing Rock. I think we're going to have a hit in our hands, eh?
Well, go for it.
Go for it. So that should be out maybe next year?
Yeah, I'd say probably towards the end of the year or first of the year. Jimmy, your Maya album, there's several songs on there that really my wife really totally enjoys. And,
well, thank you. I'm honored. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And I want to thank you for the nice compliment you give me about my CD. And,
oh, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. So it's nice to say it this way, you wanted to hear than just right back and forth. But I really appreciate that. It meant a lot.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I love Native music, and it's just such a nice wave that's kind of slowly bubbling under the surface There are so many native artists out there, and flute players, and guitarists, and songwriters, and drummers, and everything, and I just think it's a really healing kind of a thing.
How long have you been playing music, Jimmy?
I actually started, I guess when I really kicked off my attempt at a music career was 1992.
Oh.
And I started writing songs around 91. I got out of the Air Force in 92.
Air Force?
Got set up out here in California, decided to stay and do it the struggling artist way. And it took about 5 good years to get a lot of material and get my feet wet around Hollywood and kind of get things going. And then I went to go make I had made a demo, and then I was going to go make an album, and I had no idea making an album took all of these twists and turns and things you need to know. And it took me about 2 years to finish that album. I started in 97 to 99. And then in October of 99, I said, you know what, this is it. I'm not going to go into another millennia to make one album.
Oh, no.
And so I said, this is the last few sessions, let's wrap this up. So we wrapped it up, and then it took a year to release because, you know, you have to, I didn't know anything about publishing. I'd copywritten everything, but I didn't know you had to have your own publishing company, how to go about it. And I had a very cool guy come into my life named Dragon. He was the captain from Captain and Tennille.
Oh.
Daryl took me under his wing. I did a favor for someone. It opened that window to the great spirit's positivity. I met Daryl. He took me under his wing and said, I will show you how to do a music career. The bad news is the music industry is dying. You're getting in at a time where you may not make any money at all. People are going to start downloading on their computers. They're streaming, which won't pay you any money, and all this kind of news. And I said, well, I did this because I needed to get these songs out. I needed to make music, and I always felt like I had something to give to the world. And so I did it anyway. And the year after that was 2002, I believe, or 2001. I was nominated at the Native American Music Awards and went national. The song Apache just took off. And
Wow.
It's been going around the world ever since. It actually got a big bunch of airplay in Ireland the last couple of years.
Ireland itself, eh?
So crazy to find yourself, you know, I was getting these little paychecks, and suddenly I did this Linda Blair event, and this Irish guy who came out, his name is Sean, he said, oh, I love your songs. I said, where have you heard them? He said, oh, your song Apache is on Radio Telefish Aaron. It's quite popular. I said, wow, I have a hit in Ireland and didn't know.
I have a lot of music that I hear inside that I want to get out and just to share it with people. And you know, there's anybody that likes to do this stuff, there's a bit of ham in us. And, you know, I don't care if I share it with one person or 300. It's just as long as I can share with somebody and it touches them. And they can say, you know, I got something out of it.
Jimmy,
It's beautiful.
Yes.
may we have your permission to play Apache, the video?
Oh, go right ahead.
Okay, we'll do that. And then afterwards, we'll talk with how that became into being, why you wrote that and all. So, be back in a moment.
Excellent.
The world keeps turning round and round, and no one knows the way. Of long forgotten secrets buried with the tribes of yesterday. Brother killing brother, and the blood runs in the streets. Apache people cleared away like thorns among the weeds. I believe in the wind and the sun and the rain. I believe in the magic of a medicine man. And I believe in love. I believe in love. Wildfire legend, ancient myth, and ancient history. Come down through the ages, lost in faith and shrouded in mystery. They sing a song of sorrow, a song of hope, and a song of sad refrain. It was written in the embers and the burning sand and blown across the desert plain. And I believe in the wind and the sun and the rain. I believe in the magic of a medicine man. And I believe in love. I believe in love. Prophecy and portent in a shaman's inner eye. They dance in the shadow of the firelight across the midnight sky. Spirits rise from empty graves and perform the ceremony rites. They dance in the bleeding of the pale moonlight and claim the sacrificial night. And I believe in the wind and the sun and the rain. I believe in the magic of a medicine man. And I believe in love. Love. I believe in love. Love. I cry, oh, Apache, Apache, whoa, 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 Apache tribe, Apache tribe. Hey! Wise man drinks his years away in a single white aluminum cell. While in the land of broken promises, the sun burns like the fires of hell, like the fires of hell, the fires of hell. But I believe in the wind and the sun and the rain. I believe in the magic of a medicine man, and I believe in love. Love, I believe in love. Love, I cry, oh, Apache, Apache, whoa, 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 Apache tribe, Apache tribe. Can you hear, can you hear ancestral pride? I believe in the wind and the sun and the rain.
Now we're back, and so tell us about how and why you wrote Apache.
Oh, I think when I came out to the military, I talked my parents into taking a cross-country trip with me, and we stopped in the Southwest. And years ago, my father had told me, don't tell people you're Native American. They'll
Huh?
call you a savage.
Uh,
Well, I went about the business of just being myself and telling people I was Native American, and they did call me a savage. He was
Oh,
right,
man.
but it didn't stop me. And I remember joking with him, saying, someday I'll tell the whole world.
yes.
Well, we were going through the Southwest, and we stopped at the Navajo, around the Navajo reservations, and we stopped, and I got some obsidian arrowheads, and I got one for me, one for Mom, one for Dad. And when I gave it to him, he looked at it, and he rolled it around in his hand, and he said, always be proud of your heritage. And I thought that was a huge change. Well, the 4 years in the military went by, and when I got out, I wanted to do something for Native America, because back at the time, now we have this huge Native American community and 170-something radio stations, and I think it's even more now. But there wasn't really a whole lot then in the early 90s. And I was going down the 14 freeway here in Southern California, and I told my friend, my drummer friend, I said, write this down. I was looking at the mountains driving, and just the desert was inspiring me.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I still didn't even know exactly why, but now I do. And I started writing about the Apache people.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had just gotten out of the military, and I had bought a little double-wide trailer, and I was just all holed up in my little artist shack, ready to starving for my career. And it took me 1 year to write that song.
Wow.
What happened was I was inspired, but I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to say. Well, one night I was coming home from work, and there was a windstorm here in the desert. It was oddly a full moon. The desert was lit up in all silver, and there was this blanket of tumbleweed going across the road. I could barely drive through it. It was so magical. And I went to, by then a year later, I had moved into a house. I bought my first home, and I went upstairs, and I could hear the house rattling, and I could see the tumbleweeds out of the window in this full moon, and I was just so inspired. I remember lighting a candle and walking down the stairs and thinking about that strong wind, and I heard it in my head, I believe in the wind and the sun and the rain.
That's
I
beautiful.
had gotten to the bottom of the stairs, and I said, this is it. And I sat down and I wrote about the destruction of the Apache people and the hope they have of the future.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And Kenny, what made you want to play the flute? What encouraged you to play?
Encouraged, it possessed me. I was first time I heard it, I was at a blues event, and there was a gentleman came in on a Saturday morning, and he started playing and took a break, and for the necessities and all that from playing a little bit, and as I'm walking across the floor, he pulls out a flute and starts playing.
Wow.
And my feet literally froze to the floor and I couldn't move. And that was the start of my journey. And it was just like once I got my first flute, and it's just like we just become one. And
It's
that-
healing, really,
yeah.
therapy. Both.
and it is, and it makes you think about yourself as I'm playing, and what I want to come out to be positive, and try to remember those that were before. Because when I first started playing, had someone come up and they said, "Thing you got to remember is that you don't play by yourself. There is a group around you that came before that you're playing for still."
Your ancestors.
Yes.
Yes. Is this what you get out of your music, Jimmy?
I find that if I don't write, my mind gets kind of lost. I think some people are just great doctors, some people are great lawyers, some people are born to write music. And it's a little crazy, really, to hear things in your head. I hear, this music in my head, and what would I do if I didn't write that down? Would it just wither and go away? Would a part of me die off? The part of me, especially that is the most defining about me is the music. That's what I do. That's what I am. So without it, and when we don't rehearse, I will say this, when I don't rehearse, when I don't record, when I'm not playing or writing, I don't feel very good without it.
Oh, yeah.
So I really do agree that this music is your medicine. When you're a songwriter, it keeps you sane, it keeps you grounded. And it's the greatest gift to me in the whole world that I was one of the weirdos to be born hearing music in my head with the gift of giving it to the whole wide world. My music is played many countries, and that to me is so important.
Yes. It's nice to share, isn't it? I write a lot of lyrics and I have other people sing my songs. But it's like therapy, really, Terry, you have been busy for the past several months. What have you been up to?
Well, Bob, your husband, made a beautiful documentary about my life called Portrait of a Pioneer. We had the premiere in June. A lot of people attended. The mayor was there and gave a lovely opening remarks, kind of a welcome talk to everybody. And Norm Compton from Access Fort Wayne, and I had a couple surprises with Isabel Alvarez, my
Yes.
friend from the Daisies, who's now in a nursing home, but her caretaker Billy brought her in her wheelchair. That was a surprise. One of my students from way back when I was a high school teacher came from Indianapolis. That was a total surprise.
Wow.
So then we did a show with showing some of my documentaries, clips from Bob's documentary. For Indiana Filmmakers Network invited me. So anyway, we've been doing a lot, and Catherine Faubert, professor in California, Jimmy, from Fresno, California State University. She's doing
Oh, right on.
a research project on a school I started in the 70s. So, you know, I don't play music, but I try to do other things too.
He writes
for the same
plays.
reason you guys play music.
Yeah, he's always creative like you guys. Really, your minds are constantly going. You can't relax. You always have to do something with yourself. I noticed that with all you guys. Same with myself.
It's a high energy kind of existence when your mind is hearing a guitar, a bass, a drum, a vocal, all at once in your head. There, you know, when I think about when I'm hearing music and I stop and say, wow, but I'm actually hearing 5 or 6 instruments at once, it's something to consider.
You write your own notes?
I'm sorry?
Do you do your own writing notes?
Oh yeah, I write my own melodies, my own music, and my own lyric. I hear the total song in my head, or I sit down. Sometimes I'll just hear the lyric, and I'll let that float around in my head till a melody attaches to it. I'll sit down with my guitar and play an entire song. I'll just play the whole song and say, tell the band, look, I've got these songs here, and I sit down and I play them. Or sometimes I'll be by myself and I'll just be singing in a large room because I like the echo. I'll be in the kitchen or something, and I wrote a song the other night, about a month ago now. And I just didn't need the guitar. The melody was in my head, and I'll just sit down and write out the music later.
Wow. Do you basically write at night or during the day or whenever it hits you?
Night is usually more conducive to writing because the energy is different, the vibe is different, my hormones are different. You know, they say people who take hormonal medicines take them at 6 in the morning or 6 in the evening because your body's changed. I think that has something probably to do with it. I'm a night owl. I try to get to bed now earlier, but I'm more creative at night. But some of the songs I write when I'm driving down the highway during the day in broad daylight. But nighttime is my favorite time to write. I'll light a candle and burn some Nag Shampa incense and just chill out and stare into that candle with my guitar in my lap and write and write and write. It's great.
Kenny, are you the same way when you...
Yeah, I hear melodies all
At
the
night?
time.
All the time?
Yeah. Since I had the septus, I don't hear them as much, but I still hear melodies during the day and at night. And
So you got to
you know,
write it down or something?
yeah, and I try to get them down
Wow.
before I forget them. But it's kind of maddening in a way when you keep hearing something that
Drives
won't
you
go
with sugar
away.
in it.
Yeah, and you know, if you keep hearing the same, you need to. There's some reason you keep hearing it, and you need to get it down so it can be shared.
We got about 5 minutes left. Kenny, can you play a beautiful song with that double, with any of your pipes? What's the name of it? Want to listen to this, Jimmy?
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
This is Because the One I Love, and the CD that I finished, if it hadn't been for my wife and the way she loves me and cares and supports me, probably wouldn't have got it done because it was kind of a strenuous
Yeah.
thing that brought it to making. So let's be Because She Loved the One I Love.
Beautiful.
It is. I should have added when you asked me the question, Patty, that River Drums that we all worked on is a festival that we held inside at the Library Theater, and Ken Noland played there for us. So thank you, Ken. And,
thank you, Terry,
along
for
with
having
about
me.
9 other performers. And we hope to get Jimmy here sometime in Fort Wayne.
That'd be great. And oh, by the way, that was a beautiful piece.
Yes. it
Oh,
was.
thank you.
You gotta have you on our show many more times. My English. So
Oh, thank you very much. I'm
We love
always
you.
down for a good, chat with good friends, and I love what you guys are doing. Thank you so much. It's so awesome that all the way from Indiana to California, we make a connection. And these are the lovely bones that tie us together. These are the threads in the weave. And you guys are part of something huge, that Native America is really coming together. The musicians are just trying their best to write the most beautiful things in honor of our great Mother Earth and in honor of each other's culture, and trying to bring some peace and some unity to people, because good music brings people together. And
It
for
does.
me, rock and roll is one of those things that will never die. I think there'll always be people who will popular music, whatever you want to call it, there'll always be people who come to the concerts, who buy the records, who support that to keep it going. And that shower you with love. I feel showered with love. I get letters from people telling me the worst heartbreaks, and telling me that they listened to Guardian Angel, or they listened to Calling Out or Sweet Freedom, and that it lifted them up. And to me, that's the most unbelievable thing, that I heard this stuff in my head, that I recorded it and put it out there into the world, and that the world responded.
That's what makes it worthwhile, isn't it?
It really is, and it's kind of like this love affair you have with the public, and that they keep asking me, when's the next album coming out, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know you cared.
we do, and same with Kenny. Between you two, I love your music, and this
Oh,
is.
thank you.
And we have to say goodbye now. Can you stay on the line till after we close up?
Absolutely.
This is Patty Hunter with Terry Doran, my co-host. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you,
And
Patty.
thank you, Kenny, for
Thank you,
being
sweet
on my
Patty.
show.
Thank
and
you,
you.
Ken.
Well,
And
thank
you,
you, Terry.
Jimmy, thank you. And thank you, Paul, for being here. So see you next week.
You're welcome.